What's up guys, I'm Nico of CamCrunch, and today I'm going to be answering another question. And if you have your own question, be sure to go to camcrunch.com/ask and leave your question there. And if the question is a big question that I think a lot of people will benefit from, I'll do a video and do a blog post answering that question. And if it's just a really quick question, I'll try to get back to you by email. But if you have any questions, go to camcrunch.com/ask and I'll be sure to answer your question in whatever way I can. So today's question is going to be about battery grips, and that is, do I prefer using a battery grip or do I like going without a battery grip? What are my general opinions on the battery grip as a tool, as a piece of equipment, and should you invest in one? As you guys might know, I was shooting with a 5D Mark II for a long time, and with the 5D Mark II I actually did have a battery grip, but I never really used the battery grip. I used it when I first got it for a while, maybe close to a year, I'm not sure, but definitely for a few months, and I did use it, and I did use it wherever I went, but the problem with the battery grip was that I was using my 5D Mark II. I was doing a lot of work for my high school. I was covering events and doing like yearbook stuff for events for the yearbook photos and stuff like that. But for all the other stuff, I was just really shooting for myself. So I was taking my camera everywhere with me. And with the 5D Mark II, the battery grip added a lot of weight. And I was using a third-party battery grip, which isn't actually as heavy as the original one because the original one's made out of metal. The third-party ones are made out of plastic. But having that battery grip there with the extra battery did add a lot of weight. And the 5D Mark II in itself is already a huge camera. You need big hands to hold it well. And yeah, it was just a big setup in general. So I eventually took off the battery grip and I went without the battery grip for up until I decided to sell the camera. But now, so wait, I'll just go back. So with the big cameras, I generally didn't like the battery grip. Now, if I was doing professional photography, so if I was like covering events and getting paid for my work, I think I would definitely use grip bodies, no question, just to have that extra battery there, and the vertical orientation, just for when I need it. And then I'd still have extra batteries in my pockets at all times just to make sure. So that's my take with the bigger camera. So with the 5D, I really didn't like using the battery grip because of the extra weight and extra bulk that it added. Because I was mainly using it for general work, but with professional work, I would definitely use the battery grip. Now, I've been using the T3I for a while now, and this particular battery grip on it is actually my roommate's. I don't own one for my cameras, but on this camera, it doesn't really add that much weight, and this, even with the battery grip, feels lighter than my 5D Mark II. So overall, it does make the grip better. So with these like smaller cameras, I do think that the battery grip is beneficial, not just for when you want that extra battery, but if you want a nice grip and the vertical orientation, it doesn't add too much. And in terms of size, it's not that big. I actually like this size more than I like it when it's without the battery grip. So with these smaller cameras, like the Rebel series, so that's like the 100 series of the Canon, or with some of the smaller Nikon cameras, a battery grip might actually be a nice option. This one's a third-party one, so you can get these for anywhere between like $20 to $40, I'm guessing, $20 to $50. Definitely not as much as that. Like, I think it's $200 for the original one. So I think it's a great investment. You can add your 2 batteries in here for extra battery life. And again, on these small cameras, the grip is definitely nice. So I guess it depends on the camera that you're using, and also on your hands, and on I guess the level of comfort that the camera gives you by itself and with the grip. Because again, with the 5D Mark II, it eventually became like uncomfortable to use the battery grip at all times, whereas with this camera, I could totally use the battery grip like every day, and it wouldn't bother me. So that's my take on battery grips. One last thing I'd like to add is, if you're going to get one and you don't want to spend the money on the original ones, these third-party ones are great, especially if it's like your entry-level body that's made out of plastic. The battery grip usually matches your camera body, whereas with the higher model like the 5D, if you buy a third-party battery grip, it's usually plastic, whereas the original one is usually magnesium alloy, just like the higher end bodies. So that's something to keep in mind. I do recommend the third-party ones. Just do your research to see which one's like the best value. And the ones that have the best reviews, basically. So yeah, that's my take on third-party battery grips and battery grips in general. I hope this video helped you guys, answered your questions, and if it did, definitely give this video a thumbs up, favorite the video, share the video, subscribe if you haven't yet, and again, if you want your questions answered, go to camcrunch.com/ask, and I'll do my best to answer your questions either in one of these videos, blog post, or through an email. So yeah, again, I'm Nico of CamCrunch, and I'll see you guys in the next video.